Okay, welcome to this video demonstration on how to forward all requests on a certain port number, whether it be a TCP port 80 for website or anything like your FTP server or anything like that. I'm going to do one for a web server. This also applies for anything like any torrents or if you want to forward any VoIP traffic or anything like that. But as I say, I'm just going to do this for TCP port 80 to forward to an internal website. So what we're going to do is log into the Monowar box, and my IP address is 192.168.1.100, and the password for the box, admin and mono. Okay, and you get the little web GUI interface. This isn't a live box, so you're not able to hack into this or anything like that. So let's just click on. You'll need to click on NAT under Firewall. So if we click on that now, and what we're going to do is basically click on the plus sign here, and once we return back to this page, you'll see that all these information will be put into the relevant fields. So if we click on add, so as I'm doing this for a web server and forwarding it to say a company intranet running Apache or any other web server software or hosting software, what we're going to do is the interface we want this to apply to is obviously the WAN connection, so it can come in through the WAN and go on to the relevant server. You can do this via a DMZ, that's the simpler way to do it, but if you want, this is just for demonstration, and if you want to forward any other traffic, then it's the same basic principle. You type in your port numbers here and here, your IP address, and then obviously the port that it actually refers to on your computer, because you could have port 21 for your your FTP server on your physical LAN, but you could have port 20 on the internet, so that people connect to port 20 and then through Monowall it converts it into port 21. So you could have port 20 in there and then 21 here for your local FTP server. So for the web server, if we scroll up a bit, right, so it's the WAN and it's a TCP port, and Monowall has some built-in ports already that you can select from, but as I mentioned before, you can select your own port. So if it's VoIP, for example, it's 5060 I think you need to forward. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So we're going to forward the web server, or make a web server accessible from the internet. So we're going to click on HTTP. Once you click on one of the ports that Monowall has built in, or has predetermined in the drop-down list, you'll notice that this area here goes blank, or goes greyed out. This is because the software knows, or the firewall knows, that you already want to forward port 80. If you selected other, and if you wanted, as I mentioned before, a VoIP, then it's 5060, or any other port that you want to forward. I believe VNC, for example, is 5900, so you'd type in 5900 there, 5900 here, and the IP address that you want it to go to. So as we're doing this just for a web server, we'll just select HTTP. For the NAT IP, what this means is basically the IP address of the machine that is running your web server software. So if it's 192.168.1.200, for example, then you'd put 192.168.1.200 here for your web server. And obviously the local port would be port 80, so that's already been predetermined by the things that we've selected up here. Description, you can put in what sort of web server it is that you're forwarding it to. You can put the domain name in there if you want as well. So I'm just going to keep it really simple and put web server. You can also, with the later versions of Monowall, what you can do is actually have Monowall add the firewall rule to permit traffic through the NAT. So we're just going to let Monowall do all this for us. If you're a bit more advanced and you know a bit more about Monowall, then you could actually just add the rule yourself. But for this little demonstration, to keep things nice and simple, we'll just go with the default and put a tick in the little tick box there, and click on save. And then, as I said before, you'll be returned to this page, and as you can see, all the information has been filled in for us. All you'll need to do now is click apply, because it says the NAT configuration has been changed. You must click apply, so we'll just click apply. If there was any errors or Monowall didn't understand what you actually wanted it to do, it would come up with an error message here as well in red to say, you know, that the changes you've made, it doesn't understand them, and you know, you'd have to go back and do them again. So it's understood, it's blue, it says that they've been changed, so we'll just click apply. And there we go. So it says that the changes have now been successfully applied. Again, if it didn't understand what you wanted it to do, it would be in red, and it would give you some information about, you know, the error or what you've actually done wrong or anything like that. If it's nothing obvious, then obviously you can check the forum on the Monowall homepage and put a little post on there, or yeah, you can go onto the forum, or you can Google it, and somebody on the forum will answer your post or request. So yeah, as I said before, we wanted it to auto add the firewall rule, and so to see that it's done this successfully, if we just click on rules under firewall, and we can see again that it's added the rule that we've just created on port 80, the HTTP web traffic, and we can also see that Monowall has identified that it's created it from what we've said earlier, because we put the little tick in, so it's just added NAT in front of our description. And we can also, if we wanted, we can edit this just by clicking on the E next to it, and we could you know, block it, reject it, do whatever we wanted to this. We could disable this rule for the time being. We can choose what interface it's active on. So we're just going to leave all these as is, and this looks like the rule has been enabled successfully. So that's how to add a firewall rule, or a NAT rule, to allow traffic through your Monowall box. You can, as I said, add any port under the inbound NAT. So we just click on add again, and if I wanted to have my VoIP traffic, then I'd select UDP and port 5060, and the IP address of either, if you're running Trixbox or Asterisk, or if you've just got just a VoIP telephone or anything like that, then we'd type in the address here. So I'm just going to type in 201, the local address 5060, and just call it VoIP phone. And again, we want to add a firewall rule, so click on save, click on apply changes again, and there we go. We can see that it's added the rule that we've just put in there. And if we just check that it's added it in the firewall, there we go. We can see that again it's added the information in there, and it's put the little NAT in front of our description, and there's our description. And again, we can go in and further customize or change some defaults that's in this it's on this page or on this rule. So there we go. I hope you like the this demo. Thanks for watching.